Clap for sync. Jace. All together. Okay, good enough. Okay, so we're back, and we still don't have a name for this podcast. Woo! I'm your host, Jake Williams, aka Jake Alex Will. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and House. And subscribe to the YouTube channel or to the podcast. I'm pretty sure this is going on SoundCloud. I don't know for sure. But yeah, and I'm joined by
Andrew
and
Jace.
You saw them last week on the podcast, and we're filming it in the same day. So we just ate a bunch of chicken nuggets, and we're ready to go again.
Like a bunch of chicken
nuggets.
nuggets.
Bunch of chicken nuggets.
Well, so the car ride was interesting. We had fun in the car ride.
I was not buckled at all.
Yeah, it was not safe. But
well, the reason I did that is because I'm exercising my right. Because I found out recently, because I was doing some research, that in the state of Georgia, if you're a backseat passenger, you're not technically obligated by law to be buckled in.
No click it or ticket?
Yeah, it's only front passengers.
This is really interesting. You know why?
Why?
Because every topic I wrote down on that topic sheet is about laws. This episode is about laws.
Hey, I felt it. We had a connection.
This is really weird. Just so y'all know, I didn't tell anybody what we were talking about. But yeah, so that's interesting. The clicker. So one of the different laws that I've had to get accustomed to moving here, and because I'm from Alabama, stop it, house. But can you hear the house?
Yeah,
you can. Okay,
yeah.
I was just making sure. It doesn't seem like I'm just screaming. But you can't hold your phone in Georgia.
Yeah,
no, you can't.
And in Tuscaloosa, literally, that's all I did. And I'm still bad at it. I'll sit there and I'll hold my phone. People listen, you can't see this, but I'll hold my phone right here, just so I can drive with it. I think it's just more dangerous.
Because you have to look down.
You have to look down.
I mean, I'm not texting, but I think you should be able to talk on the phone.
The idea is that you either use a Bluetooth system or a phone holder, so you're still kind of looking at the road.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I mean,
Alabama. It is a weird law, and it's also very recent. They've only passed that in the past couple of months. Right when you got here, they're like, yeah. Jake's coming over. Let's change the laws.
Thanks. It's great. Wow. Okay, so I think this is a pretty good segue into one of the topics that I wrote down, because it's bothered me. So I don't know if you know about this, but what are your thoughts on the new gambling law in Georgia? Have you heard it?
No.
This started yesterday. Now you have to be 21 to buy lottery tickets.
Oh yeah.
You also have to be 21 to smoke and any tobacco product.
Mm-hmm. They raised the age, which I'm gonna move this because it's not center. It's gonna be careful with your ears.
It's the quietest sound,
but it just. I mean, I get the tobacco part, kinda, but the now it's just adding insult to injury to me, because I like gambling. I've bought my share of lottery tickets, and just now I can't buy them anymore. I have to wait another 8 months. I said I should be at least grandfathered into this, because I've already bought lottery tickets.
Yeah, I think that it is stupid that you have to enlist in the selective service, the draft,
right?
But you can't buy a lottery ticket.
That's what I'm saying.
I think if you're able to put your life out on the line for this country, which that's an amazing thing to do, but if at the age of 18, if you're able to do that and go off and serve this country, then you should also be able to gamble your money and drink.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even in different countries, the drinking age is way lower.
Yeah. I went to Russia when I was I don't know, 12, maybe 10, and they put a glass of vodka down in front of me.
Yeah, I mean,
of course it was vodka. Russia.
But I went to England, and we were sitting there talking about it, and I don't drink, but one of the things that they were sitting there talking about is just the difference in the way it's handled there too, and where when you're in England, it's literally they'll just take it away. That's it. There's no ticket on it if you're figured out and you're drinking underage. Cops will just take it, and that's it.
It is weird. I don't have any out of country experiences, so I can't really add upon that. But like personal experiences here, I drink, but I'm also, for clarification, I'm 21. I'm of the legal age to drink. But I'll go out and I'll see like people I went to school with who I know are like 1 or 2 years younger than I am, and they're out there drinking, and I'm like, cool. So I know what you're up to, and it's not like a bad thing, because I really do feel like either we should raise the age limit of enlisting in the military, or we should lower the drinking age, because you're going to, like, if that's something you want to do, you're going to find a way to do it, whether we have a law about it or not.
The thing is that it becomes like, so like if the drinking age is 21, people start drinking at like 16, like some people. And if you lower it to 18, people are going to start drinking at 14. Like it's just, it is kind of a slippery slope.
You make a point.
I agree with Jason on this one, where it's like, it should be, if you're going to say that we're going to send you to war.
No, yeah. I mean,
I should have all my rights.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
Whereas, I just think it's
because technically you're sending them off to fight for something that they don't have yet, you know. And of course, they're fighting for other reasons and whatnot. But I just that whole concept to me has always been weird, you know.
For a second, I was like, we should make the voting age 18, and then I was like,
well,
you're not wrong.
The voting age
That's a
is
good
18.
idea. But there's been talks about raising the age too.
That's stupid.
And I was like,
because by the time you're 18, like, I'm like aware, like everyone I know who's 18 and even like 16, like knows enough to like form their opinions and be able to vote.
and I agree. I agree with that. Just talking about laws, because I got an Alabama law for y'all, which it's not an action anymore. It was only, so I lived in Tuscaloosa when the big tornado came through and it wiped out our town. And there's literally, if you want to see something that's like, go to Tuscaloosa and you can see our trees. There's still no limbs on our trees. We just have the stumps of the trees. But during that, I remember they enacted a curfew, and it was like, at any point after 8 p.m., everyone has to be where they're staying. You were not allowed to be out after that. And the weirdest thing to me, because it came through when I was like 11, I think. And so I was still pretty young. But my best friend's house, I went to his house, and the entire second floor of his house was torn off. And so I remember going up the stairs and being able to see around. And my mom yelled at me. She's like, Jake, get off the roof. And I said, I'm not. I'm in Noah's room. And then, so we were sitting there and we're just looking at his stuff, and it's just everywhere. It was so sad. And then, so the dad was saying, yeah, no, I got to stay here tonight so I can keep away the looters. And because that's why they put the law in there that you can't leave your house after 8. And so he was sitting on top of his house with a gun, and just waiting for people. It was devastating, but yeah. Sorry to bring the mood down.
Well, it's an interesting, because I don't know if that would necessarily be a law or just like marshaled law.
Well, yeah, it was probably martial. It was like,
because it doesn't sound like it's
like, not
if you went back
now.
there now, it's still not a law.
Yeah, it's not a law, but I mean, it was like, it was enacted by like law enforcement at the time.
Yeah,
and it was like you would have gotten a fine if you were
right
out there doing stuff. Man, that was crazy.
Make sure this is still going.
Make sure the computer's still going.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad we should I just choose another topic on the page?
Are we still on laws? Have you ever looked up crazy Georgia laws?
That's well, now it's a direct segue. Okay. So instead of doing the history question today, I said, which one of these crazy Georgia laws is not actually a law? And you got 4 options.
Okay.
So the first one is, you cannot give another man a piggyback ride in Atlanta. That's A. B. You cannot eat chicken with a fork in Gainesville. You are not allowed to tie up an elephant to a lamppost in Atlanta. You cannot cuss over the telephone in the city of Columbus. Those are your 4 options.
Okay, can I discuss?
Yes.
So I have heard of a law similar to it was like a draft or something. You can't
Right.
tie a draft to a lamppost
Mhm.
in some, it's like South Carolina or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've just done a play on that with that law or if it's real, but I think that's the one that's fake.
You think that one's fake?
I've heard of the two middle ones, especially eating fried chicken with a fork in Gainesville.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard of any of them.
Because me and my brother looked up crazy Georgia laws, and there's a lot of them out there. Like you can't keep a donkey in your bathtub.
I've heard that one. You can't.
That was actually one of the ones I saw.
You can't have an ice cream cone in your back pocket
on Sunday.
On Sunday in Dawsonville
And Atlanta.
And it's like weird because like some places will have them and some won't, and that's interesting.
I heard that one was because people used to like lead horses away by like putting ice cream in their
I've heard that
pocket.
too. What's your choice?
I feel like the cussing in Colombia one.
Yeah, I feel like how are they going to enforce that? But I don't know.
Unless they're like listening to your phone calls.
I still think it's the elephant one.
You locking in with Columbus?
Yeah.
You locking in with the elephant?
Yeah.
Okay. Jace, I'm sorry. Andrew's got 2 in a row at this point. And he was actually 100% correct. I only changed the elephant. So it is illegal in Atlanta to tie a giraffe to a lamppost.
See, I've heard that one too. So I was like, well, if they did it for a giraffe, they probably did it for elephants.
I mean,
It's because I'm wrong all the time, so I can usually like spot when someone else is wrong.
I just don't get why would some of those be laws? They just don't make sense.
Well, you have to take in consideration that lawmakers, the only way they keep their jobs is if they continue to make laws. So sometimes, if there's like a law that they don't want to pass or still want to discuss, they'll pass. What was that?
The camera just turned off.
Stay right there. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry, for those of you watching this on YouTube, the live feed just started for you.
Welcome.
I'm sorry. We have a picture. It was probably of us 3. I don't know. It could be something else.
It has our social media info.
Yeah, social media. That's a good thing for editor Jake to do later. But yeah, so back to what we were talking about.
We were talking about drafts tied to lampposts.
Oh, and why they make the crazy laws.
Well, I have a story. So
go ahead.
Thanks, Jake. My dad used to be the chief operating officer of the city of Atlanta, and
that's cool.
Yeah. So he would get so the chief operating officer, basically the police department and the fire department, report to him.
Yeah.
Among other things. But he would get like all the police calls, and like one day we were eating dinner, a nice family dinner, and my dad gets a call, and it's from like the people that he has to answer, and he answers, and we just hear like, what? Like, and we're like, Dad, what's going on? And he's like, apparently there are like 15 zebras loose on the highway. And so he had to like go over to probably like 400 or something, and it's like, yeah, so that was a debacle. A zoo transport vehicle crashed, or somehow the zebras escaped.
Right.
Not exactly sure.
Zebras are sneaky, man. I think that all zebras are secretly ninjas.
Okay. So I don't know exactly which direction you sparked 2 stories for me, and I have 2 ways I could take this. Should we stay on law or should we stay on car crashes?
We originally were on law.
Let's go to car crashes.
All right.
Okay.
What a great segue.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the zebra thing. The zebras got out.
Yeah.
So, right in front of this neighborhood, I live right next to a chicken plant, and they constantly have these cars of like these big trucks of chickens.
Right.
The truck toppled over right in front of our neighborhood.
Oh.
And this was, if it's on my YouTube channel, go check it out. I made a pilot for a show, and it's called Show's Over, and the main character was a chicken. And I was leaving my house to go to that meeting talking about the show. And I was late because there was a chicken truck crash right in front of my house, and there was just chickens everywhere, and they weren't moving. They were alive, but they were just kind of standing there, and then people were just grabbing them, throwing them back in the crate, and I started screaming at the chickens, "Run! They're gonna kill you!" And they didn't. Yeah, that's sad.
Did you actually speak chicken, or did you like talk?
Oh, I guess I could see their confusion when I screamed in English, and they only speak chicken. But yeah, well, we just did our chicken episode, and I gotta say, I don't want to keep talking about the chicken, but that chicken that we got at Crystal's, literally, I think they dropped it in a thing of water. Like, that's how watery it was.
Okay.
The Burger King one though tasted like the texture wise.
Yeah.
It tasted they just covered it in sandpaper.
Yeah, it was cardboard.
It was like sandpaper.
Honestly though, like the crystals. So it was raining when we did this, right? That chicken nugget was wetter than it was outside.
And then when we were sitting there filming the intro at Wendy's, we had these two guys looking out the window,
staring at us,
watching us do it. And
they were super nice, though.
They were super nice, but I swear they think we are a bigger YouTuber than we actually are.
Yeah, they gave us free food.
Like,
hey, if you guys are watching,
we love you.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, y'all are super nice, and I'm sorry that we're not famous. We're working on it. But yeah, no, that was... Should we do another topic? This is going to be a really short podcast.
Yeah.
What else you got there?
This is my last topic that I wrote down because we got to the first one really quick. This is a would you rather. Okay, good. This is a would you rather. Would you rather live on the moon for 2 months with nothing but the bare essentials to live, including not talking to people? You're by yourself. Or would you like to live in jail for 2 years?
Moon 2 months.
Is it jail or prison? There is a difference.
Which one's worse?
Prison. Or the moon by yourself.
Moon for 2 months, though, right?
Is that what you choose?
Yeah.
So either 2 months or a year?
Yeah. Oh, Adam's calling me.
Adam!
Let's put him on the podcast. Hey, Adam.
Hey, buddy.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Hey, you're on our podcast.
Oh, what's up? How we doing?
We're doing good. Hey, where are you?
I am on my way to meet with a client to close on a loan.
Wow, that's crazy.
Adam is a banker.
Hey, let us ask you a question real quick for the podcast before we let you go.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here. Would you rather live on the moon for 2 months with nothing but the bare essentials to live, including not talking to people, or go to prison for a year?
What is going to be like? Is there going to be like any kind of? Oh my God! There's a cow in the road.
A cow?
What a great segue from the things we just did.
Hello, cow. What are you doing? Get on the road. Okay, he kind of moved.
Okay, good.
I went around him. I lived. So, is there any kind of like compensation for either, or do I get a job, or do I have to come back and it's just I have the exact same finances I have now?
It's the exact same finance. All you're doing is living that way for that amount of time.
I would say moon for a month.
2 months.
Okay, moon for 2 months. Still, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, it would be so beautiful to start off with, because you're out in space, you're on the freaking moon.
But okay, have you seen the movie? What is the one guy in the space?
Interstellar?
Have you seen Interstellar?
Interstellar.
Yeah.
I have seen. Yeah, I've seen that. And I mean, I get it, and I think you would eventually go crazy.
But not after
But
2
Not
months.
2 months.
Okay, what if I changed it to 5 months?
I feel like...
I still think I would still pick that just because you know for a fact that there's an end in sight. You know, part of the thing with that movie is he didn't know if he would ever get off.
Well, but there's an end in prison too.
Yeah, but I'd rather live on the moon
Well, yeah,
than
but
in prison.
it's not as long, you
Yeah.
know?
But like, yeah, it's not
And
as
you
long.
could die
But
in prison, like someone could shank you.
That is
you
true.
could also die on the moon. There's moon aliens.
Moon what?
I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I think there's pros and cons to both options.
Okay, I'll say this then. This might change my answer. Is it like, am I going to for sure live with both of them?
Yes.
Okay, if I would for sure live with both of them, then yes, I would choose the moon. Because you got to think, if I'm actually going to the moon, you got to worry about, maybe not making it there.
Well, you have nothing but the bare essentials to live. So, like,
Well, no, I'm saying, like, making it to the moon. Like, how many space shuttles have exploded,
Only a couple.
Yeah.
Like, out of the 12 launches that they've done, only 2 have been failures.
Yeah, but, 2 out of 12, that's a 1 in 6 chance of dying. I don't like those odds.
Think about this. Have we ever actually really been to the moon?
Well, that's right, because you think the moon landing is fake.
I think the moon landing was fake.
This is the great segue to our next topic.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories. Bye, Adam. Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thanks, guys.
We love you.
Love you.
Hey, don't go to Crystal's. Their nuggets are really wet.
You don't eat chicken at Crystal's.
Bye.
Bye, Adam.
Bye, Adam.
Bye.
I didn't know we weren't supposed to eat chicken at Crystal's. But, yeah, conspiracy theories. I don't believe in the moon landing.
I think you mostly don't believe in it just because everyone wants you to believe it now, though.
No, I also just don't believe in it. I mean, like, just listen. I watched a documentary, and my 6th grade science teacher, she played that documentary for us, and I remember her saying, I'm not saying what the truth is, I'm just putting all the knowledge out there for you to make your own decisions. And I never respected a teacher more than that moment. And Miss Brewer, if you're listening, I know your name's not Miss Brewer anymore, but you were a great science teacher. And she was actually I remember during the tornado, sorry, going back to the tornado a little bit, we were sitting there in class because we had been out of school for 2 weeks. And we finally get back to school, and then she was my first period, and we're sitting there, and she's like, everyone's silent. And she says, I don't know what to say after that happened. And so that's what she said, and she's like, I guess we're just going to sit here and we're going to talk about what happened. And then she told her story and how her house was taken. And she said, I was in the bathtub, and she was pushing herself up against this bathtub. Another interesting fact, she almost went to the Olympics.
Hey, for what?
Shot put.
Oh.
Yeah, she was almost in the Olympics for shot put. I forgot about that fact. But she's sitting there holding herself in the tub, and then she said she felt she heard the tornado like on her house. She said it was the loudest thing she's ever heard. And she's in the bathtub pushing herself up against the tub, and the tub got lifted. And then it dropped her back immediately. Man, tornadoes are scary. But yeah, it was... What was I talking about? Oh, she was the one that told me about the conspiracy theory about the moon landing was fake. And I said, wow, a true legend. I don't believe in any
Okay,
other
but
conspiracies.
why? I'm just curious of why you think it's not.
Just there's so many like little evidence things, and it's not. Maybe it did happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying you'd have to prove it more to me. But there's things that they say is evidence that doesn't add up, and especially this is the one that bugs me the most. There's a picture of the lunar module, and there's crosshairs on the pictures. And if you look at the crosshairs are behind the objects, and that's not how a camera works. If you're gonna, either that picture was doctored, which that's very plausible. Sorry, I got angry at it. but that something is wrong with that picture.
Or it's just a different camera because they took it to outer space.
And
Oh, but
looks weird.
so physics are gonna put the crosshairs on the lens behind the objects.
That's not how I guess.
And the people at home couldn't see it, but Andrew did it. I mean, the people listening did a face.
That was a good face.
Whatever. I don't. That piece of evidence alone just bugs the crap out of me.
I saw a picture, it was a picture of the boot on the moon, because you leave boot marks.
Yeah.
And then the actual suit that they wore, the bottom side, boot, on the moon had lines across it. but if you look at the actual boot that they were wearing, it's smooth. And I'm like, that's weird. So I don't
think that's true because you would have like no traction. They would never make a shoe like that.
Right, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things out there going back and forth with it. I honestly believe that it happened. If it didn't happen, I believe that we definitely been there since.
We're going to the moon in 2022, 2021.
Are you
I don't
going? Andrew?
No, like the U.S.
Is your acapella group touring to the moon?
I would love that.
But like, even think about this: if you could live on the moon, but you had to eat freeze-dried food.
I love freeze-dried food.
I've never had freeze.
Have you ever had astronaut ice cream?
No,
It's
I haven't.
so good.
No, it's not. People say it's so good.
We
It's
need
a
to
novelty.
try it. That needs to be one of our food samples.
We could do that. It's a novelty, I think.
I like it. I used to buy it just for fun.
Novelty.
I used to buy it. I would eat it, obviously.
As a novelty.
As a food. They sold it at Michael's for some reason.
Wow, that's a good store.
Intro to gymnastics is open. I'm going to get in that class.
You should, because you do like the flippity flips.
I know. But I also kind of want to take ballet.
Choices.
Man, so if you think about the moon and other planets, if you could live on any planet, what planet would you live on?
And not die immediately.
And not die immediately. You could live on any planet, but not Earth anymore because you got kicked off.
Dude.
You got voted off the island.
I would live on an exoplanet. Nothing in our solar system.
Yeah? Let's limit it down to our solar system, though, because I'm interested in, like, what planet y'all would choose.
And we will survive no matter what.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, I wouldn't pick any of the gas giants simply because even if you live, it's like literally just clouds. Like you never stand on anything.
But think about looking, like, if you, imagine this. You are in love watching clouds. Like, you're a cloud watcher.
But it's not
If you're
like
a cloud watcher, Jupiter. Go to that
But-
storm that's been raging for millions of years.
Mm-hmm.
that storm is the size of Earth.
Yeah. You know how crazy that is?
But the thing is, there's no surface of those planets.
Yeah.
There's a core,
There's a core, but there's no surface.
but there's no, like... So you'd be standing on, like, molten rock.
What is the rhyme? Where I'm sitting here, like, girls are from Venus and boys are from Mars. Did I get
it's
that right?
girls. Wait, boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Girls go to Mars.
Girls go to college to get more knowledge.
knowledge.
Boys go to
Go
Jupiter to get more stupider.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to Jupiter, boys.
I like Jupiter. Jupiter was going to be my first choice, and then I remembered Saturn was a thing.
Saturn would be cool.
And I think it would be awesome to watch, like, the sunrise with the ring.
No, because we restarted the
Okay.
footage.
Um,
Sorry. Back.
technical difficulties. Could you?
Yeah,
like,
let's keep talking. I'm gonna keep the camera going.
Yeah. But you imagine it, Andrew. You wake up, you're making yourself nice chicken Alfredo for breakfast, and you look up.
Wait. Pause.
Pause. Yeah, so people watching at home, this is just going to be audio.
Did it not work again?
No, the camera's not working because my battery's dying. But, so you've been enjoying a little picture of my social media for a really long time. And we're sorry for lying to you earlier. But I'm okay just talking.
Yeah.
But you wake up, you got yourself a nice bowl of chicken Alfredo for breakfast, and you go outside your little hut for camping, and you look out and you see the sunrise and you see the ring. I've always wanted to see the ring of Saturn.
Well, did you know that all the hold on, I'm going to use a fancy word. Let me remember it.
Yeah.
All the Jovian planets have rings. They're just faint.
So, I don't know what we classify as a Jovian planet.
It's the gas giants.
Gotcha.
Anything outside the frost line.
I don't need this.
I
from
took
you.
an astronomy class this year.
So,
Amazing, Andrew.
have y'all seen, I know you watch Rick and Morty. Have you watched Rick and Morty?
I've seen, like, different episodes. I don't think I've ever watched it in chronological order.
It doesn't matter.
Cool.
But there's one episode where the Jerry and Morty go to Pluto, and Jerry makes this comment about how Pluto's a planet, and he's fighting with NASA about it being a planet. And so there's all these little aliens, and like, you're so smart. And so basically, have you seen this episode? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I might.
Well, basically, there's this item on Pluto that keeps the planet living and running, and it's called plutonium. And so they're drilling for it, and now that he's saying it's a planet again, they're using it, and the planet's shrinking even more. And so it's this cool little episode, and Jerry has to swallow his pride. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I'm sorry.
What season is that from? I don't remember that one.
2 or 3.
Huh. Maybe I didn't see that one.
I don't know.
Thought I'd seen it all.
Man, I really wish we had footage of this. You could see us on camera, because I got a cute little face right now. Jace does too, and Andrew's here.
Andrew, for real though, what planet would you like to live on if it wasn't Earth?
So here my justification for it being an exoplanet.
Okay.
I would want to live on a planet around a different star.
Ooh.
Because we only know the sun, and on every planet in our solar system we're only going to see the sun, the same sun.
Right.
But there are planets that have like 3 suns, or like 50 moons, or like crazy stuff, and that's what I want to experience.
Like Star
Have either
Wars.
of you played the game Subnautica?
No.
That sounds cool.
It's one of my favorite video games.
Oh, Minecraft? Sorry. Go ahead.
And it's an alien planet. It's a water planet, but there's like there's like a planet that's like huge in the sky, and like it's not even in VR or anything, but it's just like so visually stunning. And there's like 2 suns. It's very, very nice to look at.
I feel like switching gears a little bit, but still kind of staying on track. Because I want to get. Have y'all seen the new Star Wars movie?
No.
Well, never mind. We're off that track.
Oh wow.
But if you go back and look at the Star Wars franchise as a whole has done a beautiful job of like capturing the essence of space, and like what things would look like outside of our solar system. And I really love watching the movies just to go and see the different planets and like the skies and how different worlds would feel like.
Talking about 80s movies. This is getting off topic now. What is your thoughts on the movie The Goonies?
This is a controversial opinion. I
hate
did
it.
not like The Goonies.
I hate it.
It's not that I hated it. I was just like, yep.
No,
Like, it just wasn't that good.
What is your thoughts?
When did y'all watch it? Like what age?
I watched it like
Probably
2 months ago.
I was probably 11.
See, that's the thing. It's a kid's movie.
Well,
But here's
I was 11,
here's
that's
my argument with it. I mean, I understand it's a kids movie, but the budget on that movie, they come out with this huge cave, this pirate ship. It's incredible, and then you hire the worst actors you could possibly find. And then I'm sitting there watching this movie. I said, is there even a script to this movie? It's literally all improv. And then, so my least favorite part is that it's like they're dying, and this one girl, I don't even know their names, but the girl with the short hair, they're like, we're dying. She's like, oh no. And she's smiling, and like she's clearly laughing in the clip. I said, how much are they paying you? Because that should be my payment for watching this movie.
I feel like it's really interesting. I would like to go back through the cast and look up what they've been in since, because I know some of them are accomplished actors now, and I can't remember which one of them it was, but I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I watched it a few times as a kid, and it has a special place in my heart because I watched it with my cousins, and there was like the one time that my family got to like watch something together, and so I've always loved the movie. I don't really remember it. All I remember is One-Eyed Willie. And
I just remember wasn't there a guy who was like very physically deformed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Like
I
all I
remember those
remember.
2 things, and then the scene where the kid starts puking in the movie theater.
Honestly, I can't tell you much about the movie other than I hated it. I said but I know it's not necessarily an 80s movie. It doesn't have anything to do with 80s movies, but the kid who played in Stranger Things, the main kid, what is his name?
Finn Wolfhard?
Finn, yeah. He's in a lot of movies.
He
Yeah,
is.
he's like a major Hollywood heavyweight now.
Mm-hmm.
He was in. I
He's
was going to say he was
become
in It
a-
too, but he was in It 1.
Well, he was in both.
Yeah.
But
he's He's become an A-list actor.
Which, I gotta say, I'm not super impressed with him in Stranger Things.
I think he honestly, I think he's gotten like a little bit worse, but not a worse actor. I think he's grown out of the personality they wrote for him in the show.
Yeah.
I think he's more mature now, and they kept the same immature personality. And I don't think it works as well.
In It 2, in the movie, they go back in time and they do some like flashbacks.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, I haven't seen the movie. I've just watched clips of it. But they jump back in time to do flashbacks, and they're sitting there and they bring in all the kids and they're filming things that they should have filmed the first movie, but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And they CGI'd de-aged them.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you not just film that when you were filming the first movie?
Because they didn't have the script for the second one when they were filming the first one.
Well, they should have thought about it. They were going to make the second one no matter
Well,
what.
I don't think they were. I think it was
yeah.
supposed to be a standalone, and then it was such a
was
great
so
success.
successful.
They were like, all right, let's make more money off of it.
But I will say that, like, usually, so I forget which Star Wars movie it was, but I think one of the actors passed away either before the movie was made or during the filming.
It was
and so they
Carrie Fisher. She
Mhm.
passed
No.
away.
It was a guy.
One of the older ones?
No, it was one of the recent ones. It was a guy. It was one of the bad guys. I don't remember. Basically, they CGI'd his face, and the whole time I was like, that guy looks like a video game character.
Oh, no, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the original, like, bad guy captain. Sorry, I'm tapping because I'm
Yeah,
trying
you're
to
good.
think.
Yeah.
From the original trilogy, and then when they came back with the newest
And they
trilogy
CGI'd his
for
face.
Rogue One, they
Yeah.
had to, like, CGI his face.
Well, that whole time I was like, he does not look right. Like, there's something wrong. Like, they did something to his face. But when I was watching it too, I genuinely found myself doubting, like, did they film this the first time? Like, they did a really good job with it.
The one character that they did not do good with was not... It wasn't Finn. It was the bigger kid. I can't think of his name. Ben. It was Ben. There was times where I was like, Ben looks weird.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. The only thing that I noticed was that Bill, like, everyone got taller. That was
Yeah.
the thing that, and I like, you can't.
Puberty will do that to you.
You can't, well, I'm 5'8", so.
Hey, I'm 5'8" too, but I hit 5'8" in, like, before I went to 6th grade. So I got into middle school, and everyone was, like, down at my shoulders, and I felt so cool. And then 8th grade rolled around, and everyone had their growth spurt, and I was looking up at them all now, and I'm like, well, this sucks.
I was 5'4" going into freshman year, and I am no longer 5'4".
Yeah,
To clarify.
I was homeschooled the last semester of 8th grade. And then I went back to regular school. But the thing that stung the most, and I knew I went through puberty, like, when I was out of school. And that's when I hit it. And so I am sitting there, and I walk in my first day of freshman year, and there's this girl that I had known since kindergarten. Like, we grew up together. We weren't friends, but, like, we were in every same
Right.
class. And then so I sit down in my first period class in 9th grade, and she's behind me, and she's like, Jake, is that you? And I said, yeah, it's me. And this was, we're sitting there talking. She's like, man, I haven't seen you since 5th grade. And I said, that's not true. I sat right in front of you in 8th grade. But she forgot about me.
Oh, that's
Like,
so sad.
We got a phone call that immediately went away.
Me?
Yeah.
From who?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was from Alabama.
From Alabama.
From Alabama.
Sham,
Yep, it's from Alabama. We're not going to call them back on this phone call. I mean, this podcast. Next one. Come say it.
Tune in next time.
Man, we hit all these topics really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's about the same length as last time.
We're good at making conversation. I feel like we're...
Yeah.
Andrew, how about this rain?
Okay, I love the sound of rain. I actually fall asleep to the sound of rain.
Me too, honestly.
And it's, like, so soothing. Like, a lot of people are like, it makes me need to pee. And I'm like, not really.
I was on the cruise ship and it rained a ton while we were on the cruise. But even, like, the feeling of, like, the rocking of the boat, like, it's okay when you're trying to sleep. But, like, during the day and you're trying... It's not bad when you're in the common areas, but when you're walking to your room and you're in the tiny, tiny little hallway, ooh, it's bad. when you're hitting those, it knocks you over. And I know that people at home can't see me because the camera's not working, but I'm sitting here jostling myself. But
okay, I have a question about the cruise since you brought it up. Because you were on the ship for so long, when you finally made it back to land, did you still have that feeling like you're on the boat, like waving back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take for that to go away?
I would say about a day or two. I mean, it's like so minor that it didn't really matter. I wore a motion sickness band the entire time.
What is that supposed to do?
It's a little.
It presses a pressure point between your two. You know how you have these two tendons here on your wrist?
Yeah.
There's a pressure point between them that, like, I know it as getting rid of nausea, but I assume.
Well,
motion sickness is usually nausea.
Yeah.
You want to see something cool? Hold out your hand.
You can't see this.
And then just relax your hand.
Okay. Huh. People at home, he's closing my hand for me.
You do it to me, you do it to me.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do it because my hands are sweaty. I have hyperhidrosis.
Have your hand, like, just
relax your hand at home and let your friend just squeeze your arm, and it closes your hand.
Whoa.
Hey,
you can do it here too.
Should we I think we did pretty good on this podcast. I would give us a solid 7 out of 10. And we had a guest. We had Adam.
We did. We had a guest.
I just want to know, like, if someone's listening to this,
if anyone's out there,
how far did you make it?
Why?
Comment below and tell us what your favorite part was and why you're still listening.
Well, here, make sure they actually listen to the entire thing. Who called? What was the answer to the question? And what was our least favorite nugget in the nugget video? And if
this
you're
is too much work. No one's going to type that much.
If you're subscribed, then I might send you a cookie in the mail. I don't know.
Listen. If you message me on Instagram,
we'll give you free merch.
Those answer to the questions, I will Venmo you $5.
I won't. Wait, but I'll give you free merch.
If someone messages me on Instagram the answer to those however many questions, I'll Venmo them $5.
Well, I mean, you heard it here, folks. I'm about to get some $5 for me.
I'm about to get $5 too.
Yeah, but you go ahead and like this video, hit the
notification
bell.
This doesn't actually become popular.
Like, you get like 70,000 people.
You have to do this within a week of this video being.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead, like the video and subscribe. And how do we end this?
Tune in next time when we finally get a name for our podcast.
Yeah!
I'm pretty sure I've already cut at this point.